Hey guys, it's Brian here, and welcome to episode 72 of our Liverpool career mode series. In today's episode, we got 3 games here, and we're going to start off against Elfsborg here in the EuroLeague, and then move on to a couple games in the Premier League as we'll be playing against West Brom and Tottenham. So, some good matchups there overall. We'll start off in the EuroLeague here, where I'm overall having a good time in the EuroLeague, because you know what? We've had not necessarily troubles in the Champions League in the past, but we've been struggling to continually have a very solid Champions League outing. And right now in the EuroLeague, we're sitting strong, 3 wins overall, and this is moving into our 4th game here, really dominating the group, and I have, a strong feeling overall. Maybe things could kind of collapse over time. I'm feeling pretty good overall, and I think that we're going to probably be able to grab the first seed out of this group here. And it is a very important game for us because, yes, Elfsborg are 5 points behind already, but if we win this game, then we already put ourselves even more so ahead in the group, and that's going to give us that little bit more of a comfort zone. With that said, too, I wanted to talk a little bit about center backs, as the transfer deadline coming up is still a couple months away. We got the transfer window in January that we want to probably be a little bit busy in, and the reason for that is because our center backs have completely fallen apart. It has been an absolute devastation at the back the past couple months, as Julien, Germany, Daniel Agger, and Caulker have all gone down with injuries. I brought 1 or 2 of them back at points, and they've gone down with another injury after that too. Overall, it's really kind of got me worried a little bit on the back end there, as we usually have had a pretty solid, strong 4-back 4 there, and now it's at the point where our 2 center backs, we have to use guys like Micah, which is totally fine, but I don't want to use him there. I want to use him as the right back, and we've been using Asamoah, who's a guy that, yes, he can get the start from one, game or another when we're playing in the Capital One Cup or something like that, but not in an actual game where it means a lot to us, and it's been a bit of a struggle. It's really been, a tough time. We've had maybe one, professional center back that can actually jump in every once in a while, but then it's gotten to the point in the past a little bit here, especially when we've had, a couple back-to-back games, where we've really had to rely on players that I don't want to, and you're going to see in this episode that actually does kind of come back to bite us in the butt. I really feel like, some of the opportunities wouldn't have been ones that would have been capitalized on if it wasn't for the fact that our center backs that we've been using in this game just weren't really doing it, weren't really up to snuff of what we're normally used to. And I've kind of gotten acclimated to these players that are very solid players overall. And you can see in this game here, we got that one lucky goal from Mayuka, and we beat Elfsborg right there, which is really awesome for us. We continue to do good in the EuroLeague, but against maybe better teams, it's not the best situation to be in. And yes, I believe that Daniel Agger, Julien, Germany, and Caulker probably will be all fine by the time we get around to January, but I want to make sure for the future, because a player like Daniel Agger has been injured already 3 times this season. I'm starting to get to the point now where I'm starting to see some of these players probably picking up a little bit more injury proneness, and that's something that I'm trying to avoid going ahead in the future. So I want to press it out to you guys. It's still quite early, but I want to look at getting a center back for the team. Who do you think would be a solid center back to bring into our Liverpool squad, and who do you think would really kind of solidify us back in the back 4 there, moving ahead into the final months of this season? But let's move back to the Premier League here, as we've obviously just saw a good game there in the EuroLeague, but we've been doing pretty good in the Premier League overall. We've had a couple of challenges, a couple of games where we've only gotten draws when we could have gotten wins, but up until this point we've been very solid. We're actually undefeated right now, and it's probably been the best season that we've had yet. But like I said, the issue that I started running into a little bit was the fact that our team, you're gonna see in this game specifically, maybe a little bit of a failure on my part in some places because of the fact that, just haven't been playing as much FIFA lately, because I've only been doing this series. I haven't been playing anything else other than that when I have been playing FIFA. So my time of FIFA is now kind of limited. But yeah, we get that early goal there, and a really nice one by Suarez. He's getting the start in this game here. But just kind of the frailties on the defense there. Micah pushing down. That could have very well been a penalty. Luckily for us, not there though. Richards falls over there. Probably should have stayed up, but not going to happen at that time, as Graham Dorrans gets the goal for West Bromwich Albion there, and they're tied 1-1 in this game. And that was kind of the story. That was a little bit of a mistake here, but the rest of the chances come here. Here's another one where it is just a complete break, a little bit of a, just faltering on the defense there, and Sean Allen, I believe his name is, gets the goal there in the 36th minute. And it is now 2-1 for West Bromwich Albion. We're doing really good actually this season in really kind of limiting the other teams from scoring on us. But this game just wasn't happening, and I feel like I got into that mode a little bit too, where I was just trying to keep pressing, trying to get that third goal, that second goal to get us back into the game. And it was hurting overall. We got a couple opportunities, but not really anything in the first half there. And they really put the dagger in us here as they get the ball moving around. The players kind of break up there. I had Richards up just a bit. That had to leave, I believe. It was Germany there, who's back for a little bit at least, in a little bit of a faulty position. We go down 3-1 in this game though. Holtby's going to cut back here, pound that one into the net, get us back into this game though in the 85th minute. And like I said, it was very much one of those I was just trying to find opportunities, trying to find chances, but in this game, guys, it is not going to go, as we're going to actually get our first loss this season against West Bromwich Albion. You know, maybe not the best team to lose the first game to, but I'll say in the rain against actually one of the top 4 teams right now. So you know what? We'll take it at this point, and that's going to leave us actually, you know, we've been doing good, but we've actually had 4 draws already this season. So this loss, you know, is the first loss of the season, but at the same time, too, we have been, you know, dropping points here and there. So we're really in the thick of it. We're not, you know, anywhere near ahead of everybody else right now. So going to the next game here against Tottenham was another really important game for us because we wanted to make sure that we could keep rolling in the positive manner. You can see that we dropped down there to the, I believe, the 4th spot in the league, but you know, points are very tight between all the teams. Chelsea, though, is the one team that has just been absolutely on fire this season, so we're going to have to make sure to have our very best game when we play against them coming up in the near future. But moving on to this game here, like I said, we'll take a look at the starting lineup here as they come out, and you'll kind of get an idea, again, of what we're looking at for the back 4. And I'm not sure necessarily who I want to bring in, but I want to bring in one of the things that really is important to me for my center backs is a player that can have a, you know, very solid positioning, and at the same time, too, I guess this game here, Sama in Germany, I think Richards was too tired to play in this game because it was only 2 days after the West Bromwich Albion game there. So very tight schedule, very close games together there. But the problem I was going to kind of highlight there with that is that I really, you know, for me, like Sama is a player that, yes, he's got some talent. But, you know, it's a guy that he's definitely a lot younger and he isn't as talented as the other center backs we do have. Luckily, in this game, though, we get that 9-minute goal, which is really nice to see. Afellay there, making the play happen initially with that great actual play on Bale there, I believe it was, creating the corner, and then we're able to put that away. But almost immediately, they get back in the game. One of the really weird parts actually for Spurs is that this season they've been doing terrible. I think they're actually 12th in the league. They haven't been doing great at all. I really think that kind of tests back to the fact that Hugo Lloris was their keeper that they've had for, you know, all the seasons that we've played at least, and they're now at the point where they, I think they sent him off to Barcelona. They have not that great of a keeper in net now, and they're not doing that great at all. They're one of those teams that, you know, we talk about those big squads that eventually kind of fall off the pace. When I was talking about my Leicester City career, we, or at least I saw from that, they brought in Cristiano Ronaldo, had to really put a lot of money into him, and they just didn't have enough money to really make the squad as good anymore. And that ended up in them being a team that was in the middle of the table pretty much all season. So it's interesting to see how that dynamic kind of plays out, and now Spurs are the victims of one of those teams that has now dropped down to the middle of the table. So they're giving us a lot of trouble in this game, though. As you can see, they give us 3 goals against, and this was one of those other experiences. We haven't done good against Tottenham overall in our record against this team, because if you remember last season, we had that 4-0 loss against them. And this game wasn't any better, just really trying to get chances, but, you know, we only got that one chance in the first, and it was, you know, one that we're lucky to get in. Everything else was a miss, and they were all over us. You know, breaks in play like this wasn't a good overall episode, and I apologize for that, but look at that beautiful physics. I had to show that off there as they had the break. I don't even know what that was, but it turned out to be a goal kick, so you know what, we'll take it. And unfortunately, though, guys, in this game, we lose it 3-1, so 2 losses. You know what? We're not going to just stop at 1 loss. We're going to get 2 in 1 episode. So apologies for that. A little bit of a lackluster episode there, but we'll be back in action for another episode. I'll make sure to have this episode up within the next couple of days or so, because, you know, this one took a little bit longer to get out. Until then, though, thank you for watching, and I'll see you around in the future.
Points. In 5th, Manchester City with 25 points. In 6th, Aston Villa with 25 points. In 7th, Arsenal with 24 points. In 8th, Southampton with 20 points. Bottom of the table, Leicester City with 3 points. And then reading up the table, 2nd bottom, Blackburn Rovers with 4 points. 3rd bottom, Wigan Athletic with 6 points. 4th bottom, Fulham with 8 points. 5th bottom, Queen's Park Rangers with 11 points.